Everyone, I'm going to show you today how to make some quick and easy cards using the New Horizon 6x6 Designer Series paper from the mini catalogue and also the On the Horizon bundle. So it's on page 43. You can see the beautiful Designer Series papers and the dies and the stamp set, and that shows you some cards made with it. So just to show you, first of all, I've done an 8x8 frame, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4 separate little detailed cameos, as it were, put on the base there so that I can hang that up and have nice silhouette pictures in my kitchen. So that's a home decor piece I've done with it. So I'm just going to show you now, these are the cards I've done. Now my thanks goes to a demonstrator online, and it's Delight of My Heart is the YouTube channel, and the title is Easy Cards and Shadow Boxes Using Stampin' Up! New Horizons bundle. So my thanks go, I don't know the name of the demonstrator, but my thanks go to her for the inspiration. So here's one card there. Relax and enjoy your day. That's one of the sentiments. There's one 4x4 card without a sentiment. Another 4x4 just with a thanks from the set. And this one is a standard sized card with the mountain dies and saying thinking of you. So those are some cards I've made. This is just to show you some of the Designer Series paper and what beautiful landscapes there are here. There's one with a, looks like a sunrise, I think. That looks like a lake with trees or whatever in the background. These are leftovers from 2 classes that I just did. Those are gorgeous purples and pinks. Again, that's more like a sunset, and that looks like a starry sky. So there are 12 different designs in the papers, and there are 48 sheets, so 4 of each design. I've also made some little bookmarks using, that says have a beautiful day. That's from the Very Versailles stamp set, which is here. That's the Very Versailles stamp set, which is in the main annual catalogue. That one says breathe. That one says peace. That's a retired stamp set. Far apart but close at heart. That's a retired stamp set. And then these 2 are waiting to be made up at some point. So what you've got to take is 6x6 piece of paper. It's a really good way of using scraps. So what you do is take your 6x6 piece of paper, and I'm going to cut it, I'll just get those bookmarks out of the way, into 4 3x3 pieces. So I do it that way, and then with this trimmer you can do at least 2 layers. You can probably do up to 4 layers of Designer Series paper at one sweep, and then I do it that way. Okay, so you can see that looks like a sort of landscape already. So now I'm going to take these 2 and I'm going to cut them into 1.5 inches like that. I'm going to put those 2 aside. I'm going to cut this into so that I've got 4 1.5 inch squares like that. And then this piece is 3 inches by 1.5, but I'm going to cut it to 3/4. So I'm going to put that 3/4 line and cut that like that. So I've got 4 3 by 3/4, and I've got 4 1.5 inch squares. So I'm just going to take the other 2 pieces. I could just use those with a black background if I wanted to, but I'm actually going to cut them up. So I'm going to put that to 1.5, and then I'm going to cut this into, and in fact, just for your information, there's 1.5 is just the edge there, which is really useful to know. So that's 4 squares that are 1.5 inches square, and there's going to be 4 strips here, which is 3/4. So let me just line that up there and get those 2, which is going to be 1 3/4. Sorry, 3/4 by 3. I've already got a number of strips here that you can see left over, so I cut down my scraps from my class into pieces. Now, for the 4 1.5 inch squares, you need this measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, but for the one with the strips, that is a bit larger. It's 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I know that one's for the strips, and these 2 I think those are for the strips, but these ones are 3 1/4 square, which is for the 1.5 inch squares. So because it's black cardstock, you can just, I'm going to do basically one of each to show you. So if I just turn this over like that, whoops, I'll just use this. There we go. So there I have the piece like that. Now I'm just going to select from here 4 squares that I think I can either have them slightly different or whatever. I'm going to have 2 on the bottom that look like that and 2 in the top that look like that. And then, so that's the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. This is the one that's 3 1/2 by 3 1/4. So this is going to have these strips. So I'm just going to put them on. I'll probably, let's just see, put that on like that one there, and then one more. Hopefully there's another one that fits these somewhere. Here it is. I think I'd quite like to have those similar. So I think this goes over here. Like that. In fact, I'm going to put it so that I'll get there in the end. There we go. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to take my Tombow and I'm going to eyeball sticking these down. And Tombow does give you a little bit of wiggle room, so if I get it wrong, then I've got a little bit of time just to adjust it accordingly. Just put that down there. And this one. To be honest, nobody's going to notice if it's just a smidge out. So that one like that, and this one. Because I think they'll be so focused on the actual stamped images that they won't really notice if these are out. Okay, so that's one done. Now I'm going to stick down the strips and then I'll do some stamping after that. And because I'm using black ink, it's not going to show up on black cardstock, as you will see in a moment. Now the lovely thing about this is once you've arranged the paper, then you can decide what you think it looks like, and according to what you've got in your bundle and your stamp set, you just use those. So really there is a real scope for creativity here, the mood of the moment or whatever you like to think. But because this to me looks like a lakeside scene, I use the birds a lot, I have to say. I really love them. So this is the stamp set, and these birds I know I'm definitely going to use, so I'm going to get those out. And I'm going to actually use, you could use black memento or you can use Stays On, but I'm going to actually use black archival ink, which sadly has retired. Now, the lovely thing about these birds is there's gaps between them, so I'm just going to take these 3 and just ink up those 3. And because I've actually got the cling on, then that means I can see exactly where to position them, so I know I want them there. There we go. And then on this one, I want all the birds. Whoops, I'm getting ink on my fingers there. Ink that up, and I'm going to have all the birds across the sky like that. So that's the birds done. So I'll just clean them up, and then I can decide what I'm going to do next. So I have divided my die cut pieces. I'll just show you what the dies look like. They're amazing. So you've got the mountains, the snow, the mountains, hills, that's for waves, I think, fence, grasses, beach huts, and then you've got trees, and then this is for the this wooden textured bit there, or for a sentiment. So really amazing set of dies, a real variety there. So I've cut out a whole load of grasses. That's the grasses in black. These are the fences in black. These are the mountains in black and the bits of snow to go on them. And this is the trees and also the beach huts. So I'm going to put the birds back, and I could decide to put the trees here if I wanted to, but I'll just see what these tree dies look like here. And I think that looks quite good. So I'm actually going to stick that down there. So if you've already cut various dies out of the black, then it's really good because you're good to go. You've got them ready, so you could just make them up at any time you like. So I've got that, and then I think I want the grasses to be just here, because this would be the shore where I'm looking from. So just going to ink this up. And I've got some grasses over there because I'm looking from the other shore. So I'm happy with that. And that's ready. Whoops, that needs to stick down there. I'll just put some glue underneath there. And that is good to go, just to put on a card. So basically, just put it on a card. I could emboss the white if I want to do the basic white, and then just put a sentiment underneath. And I think that's absolutely fine. Now, this one, what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to stamp the trees here. So I'll just find the tree stamp. I'll just clean off my grasses, although I might want some grasses just there. So I'm just going to put some grasses there, just peeking through. Take the grasses off, and then I'm going to take the trees and ink them up. And I want them to go on the tree, on the edge of the lake there. There we go, perfect. That's just what I want. And there you can see that I've got that landscape finished. How quick and easy is that? And that could just go on a 4x4 card, and I wouldn't even need to put a sentiment, but I could just put breathe up there if I wanted to, or just relax up there. So there you go. That's how quick and easy. Use up your strips. So cut your strips into 3 by 3/4 of an inch and cut your squares into 1.5 inch squares. The base for the 4 squares is 3.25 by 3.25, and the base for the 4 strips is 3.5 by 3.25. And then you can just mix and match your papers and your leftovers and goodness knows what. So I really hope you have fun with that. I'll just show you the actual cards that are ready made. That one, and then that one, and that one, and that one. So really enjoyable making these cards. So I hope you have fun and do some for yourself. So if anybody's interested in buying the bundle or the stamp set, then get in touch with me. I'll be very happy if you haven't got another demonstrator to be a demonstrator, and send you a catalogue if you'd like one. So thanks very much for watching. Bye.